Welcome to the OmniMetrics OmniView tutorial covering Add Message Recipients and Configure Users. The first thing I'd like to draw your attention to is the Configure Users menu is available from the front page of all of your units. But if you want to add a message recipient, you have to select a particular unit by hovering your mouse over the unit ID and left-clicking. And then, once you have opened up the unit, you have to scroll down to the messaging envelope and click on that, and that will open the Message Recipients window. Once you have done this, you will be brought to the Machine Recipients screen. At the very top of the Machine Recipients screen, you have the messaging enabled, or you can disable it by clicking on the button next to Machine Messaging Enabled. You have the service mode, and here you can set any time you want for the service mode interval. And once you have selected time, you can click on the service mode button, and that will suspend the messaging for whatever time is selected. We have from the far left the add buttons, and you can click on any of these buttons that you want to add a new message recipient. You have the edit button, and if you click on the edit button next to any of the recipients, you will be able to edit that recipient. We have the delete button. If you click on the delete button, that recipient will be deleted. We have the test button. We will send a test message out of our servers to either their email address or their cell phone. We have the recipient's name. We have the recipient's address. We have the recipient's type, HTML or text. We have the message type, the recipient machine active, and the recipient active. One of the things I'd like to do before I go any further is go back to the user main page and select the Configure Users menu. You will see under the Configure Users menu that we have Demo, Demo 1, and Demo 2. Now I want to go back to the Machine Recipients page, and you can see that we have the same three names on our screen. So let's add another machine recipient. We do that by selecting any of the add buttons and adding a name, Joe Smith, an email address or cell phone, a recipient type, HTML or text. We'll choose HTML. And then a message type, which can be anywhere from log on to a monthly activity report. Let's choose standard messaging, and then we hit the update box. Now we have Joe Smith as a machine recipient on this particular machine who is receiving standard messaging sent to his HTML messaging system. If you want to add a message type to his account, we can click on the Edit button. You will see his name and email address populate. The recipient type is also populated, and we can add persisted messaging to his message type and click Update. And now he will have both persisted and standard messaging sent to his email address. If you are going to set up text messaging, you can click on the Add Message Recipient box, add the name, Joe Smith, add the cell phone number 123-456-789-10, and you see where we have View Cell Paging Provider Messaging Formats. On this screen, we have all of the cell phone providers listed and the messaging formats that they use. So if this was an AT&T phone, we would copy the textatt.net, go back to the machine recipient screen, and append the phone number. Then we have to choose text messaging, and we want to choose a message type, and then click Update. Now you see that Joe Smith's cell phone number is also included on the screen. Let's go back to the user main page now and go to the Configure Users tab. Now you see that Joe Smith's email address and cell phone are on the Configure User screen. If you want to give him rights to the system, you click on Edit next to either his email address or cell phone, and his email address is now open for editing. You can issue him a password, and here you can choose what rights he will have on the system. If you leave all of these unchecked, he will have only visibility on this particular unit. If you click Company User, he will have visibility on all of your units, but he will only get messaging on this particular unit. If you want to provide him command rights, you can click on that box, and if you want to provide him configuration rights, you click on that box. Once you are done choosing what rights he would have, you go back to the Edit area and click on the green check mark. This will provide Joe Smith with his logon the rights to view all of your units, to configure all of your units, and to command all of your units. If you wanted to add Joe as a machine recipient on another machine, you would go back to the user main page, go to all of your units, select another unit, and then select the messaging of that unit. The machine recipients page opens up for the other unit. You click on Add, and then you find Joe Smith's name in the recipient list. Choose either one or both, the recipient type, the message type, click Update. Joe Smith is now a message recipient on this machine. If you do not provide Joe with company rights in the user configuration screen, he will only have the rights to see the units that he receives messaging on. Let's go back to the user main page now. This concludes the OmniMetrics OmniView tutorial covering add message recipients and configure users. Thank you for watching.